We got a show for you today. Yeah. Hey, I got no microphone. Sorry. I usually have a microphone that I'm moving back and forth. This is the first time in a long time I haven't had one of those in my way. I hold on. I got cheering and stuff on here. I've tried to load what I can and do. So this today, when we're recording this, when I'm recording this and releasing it, I don't know the date, 18th of March. It is 20 weeks since my stroke. Hold on. Where's that? Ugh. So that clapping. That clapping is different than what I am used to with my soundboard. Okay, so I had to get the 20 weeks out first, and then we got some other things. So I was supposed to have Candace Wolken on the program again, and we were like, I haven't heard her program before. Yeah, I know. Her and I are both very aware. So we recorded, and it was the first time after doing some solo shows, I wasn't wearing headphones. And I didn't know there was feedback because I selected I was wearing headphones, but then I don't know, something went haywire. It didn't work. So we had over a 2 hour long program. It was very good. I mean, it was 2 hours long. You can find her on Instagram at Candy Across the Pond. Question mark. I should have that in front of me since I'm talking about it, but I don't. So, anywho, anyhow, anyway. So Candy was supposed to be on, and she had thought that she had heard an echo. I go, I don't hear it. We went through when I went to edit it. I know I didn't edit it. When I went to hit the button to have the AI thing do the editing for me, I heard the echo, and it was not good. It was untenable. You would not have wanted to listen to that. So so we were going to reschedule for this week. So I had that echoing. And so I was attributing, I thought it was something mic feedback, something like that. Well, then I was supposed to interview Dr. Robert Lefkin. And he was going to be on the program to talk about his book, Lies I Taught in Medical School. He was supposed to be on the program, the podcast, 3 days after my stroke. We had scheduled it months in advance. Obviously, didn't do it. When we went to record this time, which was after Candace and I talked, I couldn't communicate at all. So I was like, with the stroke, I've just been like, you know what? I cannot troubleshoot this, right? I can't. Stress doesn't help me. So I'm trying to troubleshoot it in the long term, like it's something really quick or something. It's going to be more difficult in my head than it is if I have some time to look at the problem. So I ended up taking my soundboard back, one that I've used for 4 years, one that I love. They did not have a replacement for it in stock. I was like, not a big deal. Because why wouldn't I say that to the universe? So they just gave me my money back on a gift card. So we had a computing piece of equipment that then decided to go bad because now it thought that we had money and it didn't want us to have money. And when I say this, I'm talking about uh, the piece of equipment that went bad. So then we had to go out and do that. Well, then I didn't have enough money to buy the soundboard when I got back in. Not a big deal, but when you're not working, I guess it is. Not a huge deal. I'm going to get it figured out. I haven't really been doing a lot of shows in case you haven't been paying attention. Something about that stroke 20 weeks ago. So, anywho, anyhow, anyway, I think it was my soundboard that I was having issues with. So, I will have Candace back on. I do want to talk to her. And here's the problem that when I talk to someone the first time, it is totally different the second time. And as I'm saying this out loud, I understand why my mom was so mad when I when I was in high school, you had to type. Maybe rich people had word processors, but we were upper middle class, so we didn't have word processors. So anyway, I would always put off everything till the end because it's still getting done. And if you're like, well, your mom's having to type your paper for you because you didn't leave enough time for you to type it. I did do that. And I was well aware that she would type it and she would gripe and she would be mad for the amount of time it took her to type my paper for me that I had written. I was all right with that. Instead of like typing it myself, like I'll listen to someone bitch for 2 hours instead of do it myself for 8 hours. Like if I don't do a lot of stuff. I was going to say around the house, which is not true. The fix it up, the handyman, that is not me. That is not mine. If I need to contemplate the future, wonder what the afterlife is going to be like when we make contact with aliens, that's me. That's the guy you go to. If you need tile put down in the bathroom, I'm not the person. That's Bobby. And like I say, I don't watch porn. I am sure this is a subgenre. And I'm going to be able to segue this. And you're wondering how? I know, right? There has to be women that like, plumber, instead of the guy being the plumber, because generally, if you think of a guy plumber, you think, at least here in America, big fat guy with his butt crack hanging. I'm going to tell you, you see a big fat ass with the butt crack hanging out. It's different. I'm going to tell you, it would be a different audience. Actually, it's probably the same exact audience. Anyway, so I apologize because I understand how valuable Dr. Lufkin's time is. For Candace, her time is very valuable as well. And we're going to talk more about this. So she made a post recently, within the last week, maybe. I don't have any concept of time. She made the comment that she had gone to look at the Magna Carta. And half my audience, the genius half, know about the Magna Carta. Now, the other half, the stoner half, think the Magna Carta is the name of a dispensary in downtown Denver. And I was going to push the button for the drum roll, but hold on. Let's see if... Okay, that takes way too long. So anyway, she went and saw the Magna Carta. And I watched Sharknado. And I'm using Sharknado as a generic term, like you would Jell-O or Kleenex. Something that I'm using so this is a Sharknado. And it didn't even have Tara Reid in it. Or the other guy, the 90210 guy, the Ian Ziering. Ian doesn't have either one of those people. It did not. And if you're like, so they got better actors to do a movie similar to Sharknado. Did you know there's 6 of them? I didn't until I watched them all for the second time. I knew there was 6 for quite a while. How can you not? Like when you could buy one Sharknado, and how do you choose? You buy one Sharknado for, I don't know, what were DVDs back then? I don't even think people buy DVDs anymore. So let's say it was $99, or you can buy 6 for $150. I think the math is very easy there. So you buy all 6 of them. See, I wish I had the drum. Hold on. Okay, that takes way too long from the click to the, no. So anyway, she's seeing the Magna Carta. I'm watching Sharknado. And once again, it was like, I want to make up a name, but in almost any name I think I'm going to make up is probably already a movie. Like Sharktopus. You would think that I just took shark and octopus and made it Sharktopus, and that I was making up the name to a movie. I am not. Now, are there 6 sequels, 5 sequels to Sharktopus? Probably not, but I think there's more than one. Sharktopus plus 1. I don't know what those shows are. I thought this was going to be a lot quicker. Well, that's weird. Why is the clock not on anymore? Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, there it is. So they've done some upgrades that I either do not remember, very good likelihood, or are new to me, equally good likelihood. I'm not going to know. Okay, so let's talk about some other stuff here. So I apologize to Dr. Lufkin and to Candace. I apologize for you all, because you guys were probably like, I need the podcast. I get it. You know, and I haven't been using my time wisely. While I've been trying to recover from my stroke, I could have been looking for a toilet baby. And so once again, like earlier I was talking about the Magna Carta and how the smart people knew what that was. And maybe the stoners did not. I will tell you that toilet baby stoners would be like, ha, toilet baby, because they will immediately understand that it is a baby that was born in the toilet, which I think this would be a good question for Candace with her living overseas. I needed to make that clear because I didn't think I was. I think that having a baby in a toilet is uniquely American. Like you go and you're like, and I don't know if that. I haven't gotten a good answer. There used to be a whole TV series about this. So I know I've told this story before. There was someone in the International High IQ Society that reached out to me, private messaged me through our group, private messaged me about, oh my gosh, I haven't even checked my eyebrows low. I'm sure Bobby would tell me. Like, I just hope I haven't gone all Russian with my eyebrows. Well, my eyebrows are very bushy. I can't even talk like that. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. I don't know where I was. I haven't even got, like, literally 20 weeks post stroke. Where I'm at was supposed to be the full title, was the very top. And then above that, I wrote the apology to Candace. I haven't even got past that part. Oh, yeah. So I was talking about toilet baby. So there was a guy that reached out to me through the society. And he went on and on about the sanctity of life and blah, blah, blah. We shouldn't take it, blah, blah, blah. He thought I was literally the show. And there are 6 of them. I like counting 6 of them. I think in some way, shape, or fashion, or I'm misremembering. I think I have 6 episodes that are either wholly or partially devoted to babies born in toilets. So he was very upset. He thought toilet babies were about super smart babies that learn to use the toilet really early. And I don't even know what age that would be. I'm trying to think, I can't even remember, a year? So I'm trying to remember. I think that our kids, when I say they, had a tippy cup, which would have been at 1 year old. They were off a bottle onto the tippy cup at 1 year old. And I think that stopped at 18 months. And I think that anyway, I just wonder, like, how old would a baby have to be a genius toilet baby? Like in the society in his thinking, like this is what is acceptable, like a timeline. 3 months. That's the baby. Is that baby? What? I mean, like, also, I have all these notes. I haven't even made it past these 2 orange lines yet. Anywho, anyhow, anyway. Let's see. Let's move on. Let's see what 5 months. How exactly? Let's try to tie in as much as we can. Since I've already mentioned 5 months, I was going to mention some of the things, but so I recently got Bobby the best gift that I have ever given her. Hold on. There's got to be. Isn't there cheering? I don't know why you have 36 seconds of applause. Doesn't matter. Anyway. So I had just mentioned that I got Bobby the greatest gift. I had given her the greatest gift. She had received from me the greatest gift that I had ever. What the fuck ever. She liked the gift. Maybe. She might have liked the gift. I think she liked the gift, but she might. Okay, so here's the deal. We went to Half Price Books. I was looking for books, and then they had puzzles there, which I was like, do they have people that they pay to put the puzzles together to make sure that they're all there and then put them back in a box? I think the answer is yes. So we bought a puzzle. Now, I will tell you this. They are half price, maybe even less than half price. Because, like, Usually you can go to a mall, if those are still a thing in your area. You can go to a mall the day after Christmas, Boxing Day in certain countries. You can go to the mall and you can get any calendar like the day after Christmas, especially the day after New Year's. The New Year, half price. So I think they were even probably more discounted than that. Bobby bought a couple that she really liked. Just she loves doing puzzles. So she'll get home to and like we'll have TV on in the background. Sometimes I used to be doing notes. She might be doing a puzzle. We'd have TV. We'd go and laugh at the same time. And but typically she would get home from work and she would do a puzzle, maybe an hour or two, maybe on night one, and then about the same probably on night two, and then I would see it and then it'd be taken apart. And that was the whole. I was like, I don't understand how that's fun. But so we're at half price books, half puzzle, half price puzzles. I had a stroke recently. I'm gonna use that as an excuse for everything. Anywho, anyhow, anyway. So I decide, I go, hey, will you do this puzzle? So it's a 1,000-piece puzzle. I'm thinking it's Bob Marley. So it's Bob Marley and then says his name. So Bob Marley and then Bob Marley. That's not the smile. I don't think that was the smile he was using. Anywho, anyhow, anyway. So I get this, and it's so what I wanted her to do was do it, and then when we finally get the set done that will accommodate both this show and the longest one night stand with Bobby and Rob, I was gonna put it. We were gonna frame it. I was gonna put it up in that. I was excited, and so she glued it and everything, missing a piece. And you go, so how was this the best gift ever? Because now, see, and this is why I did the cheering early on. Because now at the point in the story, you're like, how is the best? You're already saying that this took, like her puzzles, 1,000-piece puzzle generally take 1 or 2 evenings. I did say that. She just finished it. I don't know. I've mentioned it before in the past. I may have. I've had a stroke, so I wouldn't remember. I don't have any memories so of anything, which is weird. Like new memories. I don't whatever. Um, so a neighbor came over and he saw the puzzle and he's like, "Oh, that's really cool." And Bobby was actually gluing it. I think that's why he was coming to check on us. I think he was coming to see whether I had done something, made some sort of toxic compound that was going to put all of us in jeopardy. So our neighbor came over now, and it was just the smell of the paint adhesive for this puzzle. And it looks amazing. So we're talking about it. And so he goes, well, how long? Because Bobby was like, this puzzle and everything. Not that she wasn't happy. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is better or not better. Let's screen a call live on air. Wouldn't it be funny if someone's calling to talk to you, the audience? They're not. Let me guess. 3, 2, 1, and hang up. And hang up. And hang up. So anyway, what was I saying? I was saying something about Bobby. I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, the Bob Marley puzzle. Right. So I told our neighbor, I thought it took about 2 weeks. I don't have any concept of time. Zero concept of time, which is weird for me. And so I said 2 or 3 weeks it took her. And Bobby's like, no, it took, hold on, I wrote it down, 2 months, which ended up, hold on, do we have isn't there a trombone? There should be a trombone. Laughing, drum, laughing. Why is there not a trombone? There should be a trombone on there. I'm going to trombone her. And nothing. So, right. Anyhow. So this puzzle ended up taking, she had to look it up because she knew the day she started it because she went out of town to visit her parents. Like maybe even 2 times ago. Like her mom would always be like, it was almost like a proof of like, how much of the puzzle have you done? Anyway, it took just over 5 weeks, nearly 6 weeks for her to do this puzzle when generally it takes 2. So for me, I'm like, I would have got frustrated. Like if someone would have given me anything and said, oh, I was going to say this is going to get better over time, but it did not. I mean, she would get so excited when she'd get a piece in. There should be like I need something. The drum thing, the trombone, something should be going on. So anyway, that puzzle that I got her, because generally I am not a good gift giver at all. I have said this before. Bobby, the day before her birthday, Valentine's Day, Christmas Day, doesn't matter, the holiday, a gift giving holiday, she could say, man, if I had a cork ballpoint pen like that, my life would be set. If I had this pen, this exact pen, which is on sale for almost nothing, I still would be like, I don't know what she wants. I have no idea. I am horrible at gifts. Like, I wish I was rich enough that either A, I had someone I could pay to go get my wife a gift, or B, just said, get whatever you want. Like if she called and was like, I want a new, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. We are not, and I am going to say post-stroke, since this is the 20-week post-stroke recovery show, I added recovery in there. I did not add recovery in there. I take that back. It's still 20 weeks post-stroke. Where I'm at, that's where which is recovery, but it was just phrased differently. So now that I am, see, this is why I don't do shows right now. Pages, and I wrote all these today because I was thinking to myself, if I write the notes the day I do the show, I won't forget about them. I'll still be enthused, all of this. I am so enthused about these 2 orange lines up here. Like, this was the title. And then the pink I added. So title, pink. That was to say to Candace, 25 minutes. And then there's a little pink down there still. So let's see. What else? So the puzzle. She liked it. It took a long time. If I am murdered with a puzzle that was mounted to our wall, there is only one suspect. Because I'm not going to say that puzzle, if that's hanging on the wall when we do our podcast, she may have me cover it up. She's either going to stare at it. This is what's going to happen. She'll either stare at it because she just can't take her eyes off it. She spent so much time staring at all these little pieces, or she's going to want me to cover it up, which is much like my face. I wish, and this drum roll is just way too long. No, that's not the one I want. That's stupid. And that, first of all, when I hit the wrong button, the sexual correlation, parallels to sex. You hit the wrong button, by the time you get to the right button, maybe you've lost it. I do have those sounds somewhere. I gotta go find more sounds. So let's see. At 5 months, still don't know how it's been 5 months. Like, let's touch on that. Let's try to be as cohesive as. I'm not gonna be cohesive. So at 5 months, I need to start doing things like this. So I used to release shows every Tuesday and Thursday. Generally, I was recording and then not releasing the show for upwards of 8 to 10 weeks, because that's why you heard so many after my stroke, how many shows, because I already had them there. Anyway. So I think that if I structure doing my podcast, or at least one of these, and then doing it with Bobby, podcast, not the sex. We're going to talk about the sex and me and Bobby. That's going to be coming up a little bit later. Somewhere in this pink. Maybe if I hold it this way. See, right here in the middle. Upside down. I already show my book things. I am a regular MacGyver, but nothing cool. Like nothing like this, so my pages don't roll up in my little journal. I can create something like that. If I am chewing gum and I have dental floss and a used can of Spam, I am not going to MacGyver something out of that. I apologize. Actually, I probably could. I wouldn't want to know what it was, though. So 5 months. So I need to structure So what had been happening is Friday mornings I've been going to physical therapy, and then the rest of the time I do it at home. And Sundays going to church if the weather has been nice enough for us to go, or if Bobby's not working because she's working two jobs because I work zero. I guess I should mention I still, even though I can do all this, I have no feeling on the side still, which is weird. So yeah, and maybe that we'll get to the money thing in a little bit. Uh, so let's see. So 5 months, I have no short-term memory, just not a thing. Wish it was not a thing, but I'm wondering if I can start structuring and then having those points. It used to be like if you went to church on Sunday and then you were off, say, Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then you have points in your life that you can, like for a long time, like big things, like things that I was trying to like think what year something happened. I literally would go by the number of knee surgeries. What knee surgery was this? I've had 11. And I'd be like, I think that was like number 6. And I would know what year it was. I could figure it out. So I need something that will help structure my week. So I'm recording me on Monday, Wednesday to put out a show on Tuesday, Thursday, to record with Bobby on Friday, to go to church with Sunday. I mean, boom, I may not remember any of that. And I may have to write it down and have a checklist or whatever, but that is okay with me. A couple other things about my recovery. Something that a couple people have mentioned is I still have not prayed about my recovery. I pray every day. I pray all the time, every day. Not all the time, but they're all just. And most of mine are prayers of thanks. Hey, thanks for letting it be a beautiful day. Thanks for letting me. I'll look at a picture of all thanks. And so they're generally prayers of thanks and things of that nature. But with my stroke, I have not prayed about my recovery. I have prayed. They're all been praise of thanks. They've all been prayers of thanks. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to be here so I can hang out with Trinity and Bobby and Mo and see friends that maybe I haven't seen in a long time or talk to people I haven't talked to in a long time. So so my prayers have always been prayers. And it's funny why people are like, you haven't prayed about, like, you're not like, oh, I hope I get this feeling back. I can honestly say I don't think. I am, to my knowledge, which if you remember better than me, I just mentioned my lack of memory. I do not think that I have made any prayers as to that. I figure I'm more thankful that I survived it. I should not have survived it. You can look up the numbers yourself. Let's see, what else? So I've learned about something called blunting. If you're a longtime listener to the show, and if you're not, hit the like, subscribe, listen to whatever. I wrote that down somewhere. I'm sure it's at the very end, and I probably should have led with that. Anyway. So I had an episode where I spent like 50 minutes crying, and I do miss Indy. I do wish she was around. I don't know whether I feel like it's 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. And you're like, should we go watch that movie on your recommendation? No. The story is fine. It's Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider is in it. And if you're like, okay, well, why wouldn't I want to see that? Well, why would you want? Anyway. Note to that. So one of the first notes, the one that has the chutes and ladders type slide, which goes up, by the way. So it looks more like a pointed penis sticking up. You're welcome if you need visuals. So I wrote Memento, the movie Memento. Not a spoiler alert because the movie's so fucking old. If you haven't seen it, then not a spoiler alert. There has to be some sort of statute of limitations on when you can just freely talk about a movie. Especially, like, the bigger the movie, the less time it should have. This has been long enough for Memento. So Memento was, I don't remember, I haven't watched it recently, but something happens, he can't remember, and so he, like, tattoos himself or something, and then he looks at the tattoo, so that's how he remembers. Like me, it seems like doing notes would be easier. Like, and especially now, like this must not have been around the smartphone era because I would think that cost effectiveness, the economics of it, especially in today's United States, the economics of getting yourself tattooed daily with what went on, as opposed to journaling it or using your phone to voice record it. So I'm not sure this movie could be made. Like, it literally would be a guy with no tattoos at the end just listening to voice memos on his phone. But every once in a while, Bobby will write stuff in Sharpie on me. If I really need to remember it, she'll write it so that I don't, like, what's on my hand? And I don't remember that. And then usually by the time I've scrubbed it off, which the dexterity is good, then I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to. And then I don't remember it because I've already washed it off. Wah, 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 wah. I need a trombone. Not like a real trombone because I'm not going to play it, but like the sound that I had on my own soundboard. I am very interested in seeing what the sound like as well on this because I'm only using the webcam right now. And how about if it sounds amazing? And I was fiddled it. Like, I'm over the amount of clutter too. Like the boom arm and the mic and the soundboard, they take up a third of this desk. And I measure the square footage of this desk, 18 square feet. This is larger than 7% of the hotels in Brooklyn currently. Boom, boom. Oh, I do have the drum roll, but I mean, like if I tried that with Bobby and I was like, I'm about to, and then it took that long for me to, she'd have thrown me off by that point. I was talking about sex. If you were not aware of what I was talking about, that's what I was talking about. I'm not sure I've said anything explicit yet, but fuck yeah, we got all sorts of time. I just want after 380 episodes of this for me to not have a clean episode. Let's see. Oh yeah, today. Hold on. I should have clapping. Oh my gosh. Is this really the 36th one? I'm off all my meds today, which that should be a t-shirt. I'm going to write that down as a t-shirt. I'm not going to write it down. I'll try to remember. And I hope I winked at you. I'm not really sure. That light got dimmer, so I think I did wink at you, which I think is how winking works. But I couldn't feel this area. Yeah, so the last of the Keppra, which is the anti-seizure medication, because it doesn't want me to have a seizure. Because seizure medication makes it sound like it's trying to make me have a seizure, which are what dumb people are for. Boom, boom. Yeah, so I got off my high blood pressure medication. Let me give one more shout out, and this may probably not going to be the last time I talk about this doctor. So when I got readmitted to the hospital after my initial stroke, a week after I'd been let out, or a few days after, whatever, and he wanted to keep me. And my biggest problem was no one talked to me for 24 hours. Then they said, this is urgent. We need to call this, maybe need to do a biopsy of your brain. Became very urgent. Like all that is urgent. All the words out of his mouth were urgent. I did not disagree with that. My disagreement was with the fact that he waited 24 hours for anyone to talk to me. Like 8 of those hours, they had me on not eating because they just wrote that down and no one said I could eat. Until I finally asked, I haven't eaten like 18 hours. You think I could eat? And this was when I would dropped a lot. I was down at like 160 post-stroke, maybe even down at 156 because it was right after I came home from the hospital. It doesn't matter. And so my neurosurgeon ended up coming in. He released me. I was very upset because my problem was not with what they wanted to do and what he was telling me. My problem was, you're telling me it was urgent. Explain to me why you're waiting 24 hours to tell me this, because that doesn't sound very urgent. Like if I came home and said, hey, I got to tell you something, it's urgent. And then I waited 24 hours to tell my wife. She probably would not deem the same amount of urgency that I went into the conversation with. So let's see. Let's see what else we have. Blunting. Oh, this is funny. So I'm gonna do some tie-in, which looks more. Never mind. So how I tied in something earlier, I am now gonna tie. So the story about the guy from the High IQ Society, International High IQ Society, thinking that one of my shows was about genius babies that use the bathroom very early. So there is a thing, I don't know if it's with all strokes or my type of stroke, the basal ganglia specifically, or hemorrhagic stroke. I will tell you, my research has been very limited to the type of stroke that I had because I don't give a shit about the other stuff. I'm not going to remember it anyway. I don't even remember the stuff I read about my stroke. Oh, what was I just going to say? See, and then I can't ever remember. So let's see. The stroke. Oh, yeah. So tying it in. So the guy from the High IQ Society that thought that the podcast was about, and this is not even a video podcast. I should do a video podcast with like a reenactment. That would be not cool. Like no one would want to watch that. And if you did watch it, you'd probably get put on a list. I'm just saying. And I would say, I'm not saying whether it's a good list or a bad list, but with what I led up to, you'll probably be put on a list. You know, it's a bad list. You know, it's, so anyway, with my stroke, there is a thing called blunting or emotional blunting. They could have said emotional blunting to begin with, and all I heard was blunting because I don't know if you realize the stoned genius. I didn't live in biblical times. I wasn't getting thrown rocks at. Maybe nuggets. I think I winked. I don't know. Maybe. I think so. And I'm always afraid that I'm going to hit like. So I put. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Interesting. Anywho, anyhow, anyway. So emotional blunting or blunting is when you just don't like all the crying I did before. Now it's just like, and it's not to everything. It's to more things like writing. Like I was doing some writing and then I didn't do writing, and maybe some of it has to do with the meds that I was on. Maybe it doesn't. I'm trying to figure out, just everything that's going on right now with me. But I will tell you, I thought I was excited as a stoner to hear that there's going to be blunting after my stroke. Fuck yeah. I mean, the only way they could have said blunting and made it better was sex and blunting. Boom, boom. Oh, I do have that. Drum joke? Is that what we decided on? Jeez, golly, gee williker, trim that. Let's see. Okay, so I have now gotten through routine, doctor. I've gotten through a lot of these notes. Now, that being said, I've only gotten down to here, which is the funny thing. If you would have looked at the notes that I had posted originally at the Stone Genius on Instagram, that's about where my notes ended. So I'm 45 minutes into this, and I didn't even want to do a 45-minute show. I have other things. I do not have other things to do. Like when I say I do, it's stuff like walk, pick up 3-pound weights, sit down and stand up without using your hands. I mean, pretty advanced stuff for a 57-year-old. I know. Let's see. Can I run through the rest of this? Let's see. Yes, I'm going to. Anything else on this side? Follow, subscribe, notify yourself. I couldn't read that because it's purple. And I use blue as the thing, and the highlight is purple. And no. There was a pop in my neck. I felt and heard. Let's see. So Ancestry Search. I'm going to start doing it. And I'm going to start with the end, which is what I usually do with Bobby. Oh, this is going to take too long. I have to know in advance that the joke is coming. Like, I can't say spur of the moment. Like, I can't ad-lib. This is not improv for me. I have to know that joke is coming, so I've already hit the button. Like, doesn't matter. But So yes, I may be Moses. So that was, I was gonna say punchline, but maybe not. Ancestry.com, because I have adoptive parents and biological parents. Okay, so I'm gonna choose. And if I choose like say my dad's side of the family and then like my adoptive dad, but then my birth mom or my adoptive mom and my birth dad, like if I can like just like mix and match. I mean, you have to be about my age, 50, I would say 55 plus, to know what granimals were. So granimals were for kids like myself that they sold probably exclusively at Sears. And the only reason I say that is because when I tell you what granimals is, if you're unaware, you'll go, that sounds like a Sears thing. And if you're like, I've never heard of Sears, is that something that went out of business? Maybe it's because of ideas like this. So Garanimals were where kids could pick out their own clothing. Because like if you had a peacock top and a peacock bottom, boom, they match. Peacock, peacock, you could do it. But if you had a hippo bottom and a peacock top, they're not going to go together. If you have a peacock bottom and you have a tiger top, it's not going to work. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. But so I am going to pick. Oh, and how about if it would be cool? How about how about if I trace back my adoptive parents, one of their lineage, back to the McCoys, and then one of the other ones, like so adoptive parent, and then birth parent, back to the Hatfields. How fucking awesome would that be? That would probably explain why I argue with myself all the time. See, once again, this would be a great time for a drum. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Bobby would. If I said I'm about to make you feel, I'm going to hit that button. And by the time I reach that button, Bobby would be sound asleep. Okay. Moses to the Pharaoh's daughter. That's why I was like, yes, I may be Moses. You never know. April 1st, I am going to do a show April 1st. Why and what? I'm going to put out a show April 1st. So there are going to be things that are true. There are going to be things that are false. There are going to be things that may or may not be true or be truths or false mixed with. Yeah. So I'm going to do that because stories, am I right? Truths, half-truths, and no truths. That's what I wrote. So that's what I'm going to call the April 1st show. Truths, half-truths, and no truth. I need to read this note real quick because I actually drew a skull and crossbones. And it's right here. And I know what you're thinking. That doesn't look like a skull and crossbones. Well, two things. I am not like an artist that can draw skull and crossbones. That'd be the first thing. Secondly, sorry, I did my best. So I've talked about my OnlyFans account, The Stone Genius, which I've put nothing out on yet. I think I haven't been back to OnlyFans since the day I set up the account, which would have been probably pandemic. That's how long. It's been a while. I mean, it's been a while, and I've done nothing with it. I feel really bad about that. But then I started thinking maybe I should go to like Brazzers or Pornhub or one of the things that advertise like, look me and you can come see me. Like maybe they would porn me, pay me and Bobby to actually be on their channel because then they're getting subscribers. So then it's less about us. But then I would have to find out. So that's when our sex life could become more volatile and not like the choking part of it, more volatile. I'm talking about like so my idea is that every time we have sex now, there is a high probability that I'm going to stroke out and die. Like have a stroke, have a brain and die. If stroke is in there, and I'm dying and you know it's about sex, So I don't like if they said, like if I went to Bobby and said, how much would a company have to pay us to have sex and broadcast and do the uploads? Like, and I'm sure they'd be like, well, okay, you got to do 10 videos a month. Okay, you get 2 weeks off because that would be 120. You get 2 weeks off, so there's 100. So you get like 100, and yeah, so you do like 100. But see, then you can't. Like if I die in the first episode, so it would have to be on some sort of like annual subscription because you can't subscribe to it and then think that I don't know. There's gonna have to be some technology. Maybe it is gonna be best just to do the OnlyFans. I was just thinking that the OnlyFans, the money dries up as soon as I die. Unless Bobby decides to still have sex with my body. We've had this conversation and I will let you know she's not gonna do that. So I'm not saying that I would. I wouldn't have sex with Bobby. If like came home and she was dead, I wouldn't be like, I gotta have sex with her. But if she died during sex, I'm just saying that, like if I don't even know whether it would be like I could do chest compressions while I'm doing other compressions. It doesn't matter. Anyway. What I'm saying is you're going to need to subscribe to my OnlyFans account and I will put content out on it. And like I say, there's a good chance, much higher probability than before, that I'm going to that I will have some brain, and that's how it goes. Let's see what else. Man, we are booking through this stuff now. I mean, okay, not that fast, but Bobby wanted me to use a British accent in bed. She said I sound like Mrs. Doubtfire. So, and I wonder if I could charge more, like on OnlyFans, like if I used an accent. And I wrote down bilingual, but then I wrote with accent because it's not actually speaking in another language. It's just speaking like I sound like I speak in a language. And honestly, if I don't think anyone from the group is around, I will probably, like, have you ever been to like Louisiana? Hey ho ho hang ho ho hang ho 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 hang ho ho. That literally, like some of you are going, okay, now he's just making fun of. I'm not. That literally is like, I have fallen, I can't get up, get over here and help me. That's what I just said in Cajun. Most people don't realize that. Let's see. Ganglies, I still love that name. We are rare. I wrote, yes, I am. We are going through, I wrote, sometimes the words escape me. So I wrote, I wish my dad was still here so we could make fun of non-strokies. That's what I wrote. Once again, I wish my dad, adoptive dad, was still here so that because he's had a stroke. He had a stroke and lived 11 years after his stroke. We could make fun of non-strokies. And then in parentheses, I had to write regular people. So I was calling them non-strokies where people, like most people, like I wouldn't say, like if someone met you, like maybe they should. Like maybe I shouldn't be the stroke victim. They should be the non-stroke victim. Why does it always have to be on me? Okay, let's see what else. We are almost done. I am not going to make it before an hour. I almost guarantee that. Listen to what people say. I wrote something else down here. So this goes back to the ancestry search. So I've been doing some stuff, and I've only gone back like a couple hundred years, but that's just on stuff that I can find on free internet. Now I got to start paying for stuff. But I was like, as someone who's adoptive, and then finding out that my birth father may have been a player. So I wrote, would I give up sex with Bobby if I found out she is my sister? No, I would not. I mean, we're 29 years into it. We had 2 beautiful kids. It's not like we had, I don't know. I was going to say one of the people from the Goonies, but I literally, even being of that age, I never saw the Goonies. And I love movies. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Goonies. Rephrase, strike from the record, I have never seen Goonies. But yeah, I mean, at this point, like that, like of 3 months in, when we find out it wasn't even 3 months in. 6 weeks into our relationship, when we find out Bobby's pregnant, they're like, "Oh fuck, we did a blood thing, and you guys are like brother and sister, like biological. What the?" I mean, like then we were, oh shoot, and probably like had some decisions to make. I think at 29, 29 years together. I will not speak for Bobby. I have learned in 29 years together that I probably should not do that. When I do that, it does not lead to the best outcomes for myself. Because I look like an idiot. Because Bobby is the smarter one of the two of us. Um, but I mean, at this point, after 29 years of banging a lot, I would think that, like, is that gonna be like that would be funny, like to do that, like find out that one of your friends had sent in, and then go, oh, found out that you and your spouse are related, 100% match. That'd be so funny. That'd be fun. I'm gonna do it. I mean, probably, maybe not. I'll forget. Listen to what people say. Let's see. What have I read? Sentence enhancers. You got to be younger than me. I mean, you could be my age because your kids would have been at the age. So your kids would have to be 20 to 30 probably. The SpongeBob years, as I like to call them. Sentence enhancers, I believe is what they call them. When you have to say stuff to embellish and make your story better. So I was watching a story on a different podcast on YouTube, and this guy, he's an exorcist, and he said that he had done over 50,000 exorcisms, 50, comma, 000. Unless that's different in the metric world. 50,000 exorcisms over 5 decades. 5 decades, probably, let's just say 50 years, 50 to 60, whatever. 5 decades. So he said 5 decades, probably, whatever. So here's the math. I'm doing, so 50, and this is where I get hung up. This is where I'm like, call bullshit on the rest of your story, because this part of your story, like a basic part of your story. Like if you would not have hung me up with this, then we would have been good. Like the doctor, oh, am I tying something else in? Oh, so like the doctor who said that it was urgent but waited 24 hours, that's kind of how this goes as well. So 50,000 exorcisms over 50 years. So you're doing 10,000 a decade. So every year, every 10 years, you're doing 10,000. So you're doing 1,000 a year. So there's 365 days in a year. So you're doing 2 exorcisms a day. So this means that they have to be geographically in close proximity. I mean, I don't know how long, like maybe I am taking like the Exorcist movies too literal, and that they're like 2 hours long. And maybe like a priest could literally go by and be like, with his, I don't know, I'm not Catholic. So like his holy water and squirt, and then like, because if that's how it worked, that could be a great porn. Like a priest walks in, and if you're like, don't talk about priests and porn, I will tell you, I don't watch porn, but I'm going to say that whole genre probably pretty big. Priests, nuns, priests and nuns, nuns and nuns, nuns and nuns and nuns, lots of nuns. Almost as fine as nurses. No, that's not correct at all. I can 107% say that. And that was for Bobby. You're welcome, babe. The 107% that is. So anyway, the guy's doing 2 exorcisms a day, 7 days a week for 50 years. I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to say you get a sabbatical at some point. You're doing it. And if you're like, oh, well, I took a 6-month sabbatical. I just tripled up on those days. You were not doing 3 extra. Where are all these demons going? Like I say, I am not Jewish, so I don't. Catholic. I'm not Jewish either. And they may have a different type of exorcism, but it's not the Catholic type of exorcism. Actually, I'll leave that for another. That's why I put a box around. I put it in green because I'm going to leave it for another time. Did I make it for an hour? 1 hour and 1 minute. That's still pretty good. Do I have? Oh, I gotta find the music. I don't know where anything is. THG. Let's just do. Okay. Hey. I don't know when I'll do another show again. I will do a show with Bobby sooner rather than later. We're going to talk about my 5 month mark and how my strokes affected her, how it's affected us, how it's affected just life in general, all those fun things, which I can't look forward to enough. I can't wait. I don't know what I was going to say. Anyway, I'm looking forward to doing that. Favorite co-host through life, Bobby. Anyway, thanks for listening to the podcast. I got to look where stop is because they've moved everything. Thanks for listening. Talk to y'all later. Bye.